So thank you for obviously what has been a great morning. Let me say this, we're going to hear about superhero leadership from our keynote speaker this afternoon. And I think you'll find it quite obvious as you hear with those that we're recognizing that we definitely have superheroes among us, and those are our leaders who have led their systems with excellence over the years. So first up, we'd like to recognize Dr. Donald Kearns. Dr. Kearns is currently President and CEO with Rady Children's Hospital. He began his career as an ear, nose, and throat surgeon at Rady Children's Hospital in 1987 and subsequently spent the next 30 years helping restore children's health and shaping the organization's future in physician leadership roles with successive levels of responsibility leading to his president and CEO role. He has dedicated his entire career to Rady Children's, a world-class academic medical center and vital member of our region's healthcare community. The recent opening of a behavioral health urgent care and the launch of the Rady Children's Institute for Genomic Medicine represent significant advancements in providing enhanced clinical care to pediatric patients. I can say in the roughly 4 years I've been here, it's been a pleasure to have Don and get to know him, and I can tell you, even though Don would say he successfully found somebody who's smarter, better looking, and younger than he is, I would say, Don, you're irreplaceable, but we look forward to working with your successor. So, Don, if you'd come up, please.
So the one thing Demetrius failed to mention about my successor, smarter, younger, better looking, and a full head of hair. So thank you, everyone. I don't think you recognize how important what we're doing here today is. The fact that we're all in the same room and having these conversations allows us as a community to grow. And you're going to meet a friend of mine in just a minute who is part of that community and is helping to make a change in what we're all doing and waking all of us up in regards to dealing with the problems that we have in our community. The fact that we're here as healthcare recognizing that is so very important. So thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue to be at Rady. I'm just going to be in a different chair, one that's not a 24/7 chair. Thank you very much.
So, our next recognition has a full head of hair, and that would be Mike Murphy. Mike was appointed CEO of Sharp Healthcare in 1996 at a time that was very difficult for our region's hospitals. During his tenure, Mike has created a financially stable, nonprofit resource for the community, vital to our healthcare safety net, as well as our region's largest employer and a key economic driver. Under Mike's leadership, Sharp has received the National Baldrige Performance of Excellence Award, multiple magnet designations for nursing excellence, and was named one of the world's most ethical companies and was selected by Forbes magazine as one of the nation's best employers in America and as one of the 100 most wired organizations among numerous other recognitions. But all of these achievements, it is the Sharp experience and the instilling a company culture that has inspired and engaged not only the Sharp Healthcare family of employees in their work and services to patients and their families, but hospitals beyond our region, and that'll be a lasting gift for years to come. I can tell you, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you here. I'd still say you're quitting, which I'm not happy with, but I'll let that go. And frankly, I don't think it's a good idea. Sorry to the Anthem folks, I know they're a sponsor, but we had our Anthem Provider Hospital Relations Committee, and it was those two talking that I knew something was up. So I don't think we want any more San Diego CEOs on that group because it seems to lead to retirement or something. So, Mike, you would.
First off, congratulations, Donald, and congratulations to Dan, who I know you'll meet in a minute, and any other honorees today. Thank you very, very much for this recognition, and I'm very humbled to have been in healthcare, really in San Diego for 40 years, 27, 28 years at Sharp, and 22 of them as CEO. And I'm tremendously humbled by the people of Sharp Healthcare and the difference they go about making every day, recognizing the purpose of the work and how important it is. And I would instill all of that and thank all of you in all of your organizations, because in healthcare we do have that special gift of a very special purpose of our work and how meaningful it is and how important it is. And I encourage us all to never forget that, because even on your worst days, go back to purpose, worthwhile work, making a difference. And I thank you very, very much. I'm very humbled to receive this and very proud to have worked with Sharp Healthcare and the great employees. I'm not like Donald going to be having a seat at Sharp Healthcare. I'll still be around. I'm not leaving San Diego. I've been here since I was, California since I was 2, San Diego since I was 4, so I'm not going anywhere. But I won't have a seat at Sharp Healthcare, but I bleed Sharp Healthcare blue, and I'll be doing anything I can to help Sharp Healthcare and all of healthcare to be the very best it can be for all of our community. So thank you very much for this recognition.
So next up, we want to recognize our community partners. And obviously, you know these two names because the work that both Peter and Dan have done around homelessness, raising the level of that issue, encouraging our community leaders to get engaged has just been remarkable. So today we're recognizing them who together are making a difference in the fight to end homelessness. Peter Seidler, who's unable to be here today, is the general partner of the San Diego Padres and lead investor in the ball club. He's also a founder and managing partner of Seidler Equity Partners, providing support to entrepreneurs in a variety of fields. His entrepreneurial spirit and leadership in helping others succeed have pushed San Diego to best practices on homelessness. We probably need to talk to Major League Baseball. Maybe they can't schedule a meeting to conflict in future years, but different conversation. And then Dan Shea is a partner in Paradigm Investment Group, which owns more than 120 restaurants in 11 states. He is rooted in humble Midwestern values, imbued with calm and confidence, sparked by a genuine desire to help others, and driven not only to hard work, but to make a difference. Most recently, Dan and Peter have taken a leading role in the fight to reduce homelessness. Together, they have ignited the community to work collaboratively to alleviate the suffering of homeless individuals and families across San Diego County through the provision of temporary bridge shelters. The goal of the shelters is to provide temporary housing while residents search for permanent housing. To date, 3 shelters are currently operational, providing support for single adults, veterans, families, and single women. Dan, would you please come forward? And we've asked Dan to share a few words because I think it's important for you to hear from his perspective what they're working on and frankly, any role or how we can be helpful as well. So Dan, if you would.
Thank you. Thank you to the Hospital Association and Demetrius for giving us this award. That's very nice. Peter is at, as Demetrius said, he's at baseball meetings in Atlanta today, and we told him if it'll help, stay as long as you need to stay. And I want to say congratulations to Don and Mike, both of whom I've known for many, many years. Just the chance to stand on the same stage with them is important. So congratulations to both of you as well. I was asked to give just a few comments on how this all began. This began a few years back when Peter Seidler asked me to help him with a project, and he explained what it was, homelessness, and we both acknowledged that we knew nothing about homelessness. But it was so visible, he just felt compelled to say, let's do something. We spent months doing what we do when we buy private companies. We do due diligence, we look for the facts, we avoid the 10-second political sound bites. They don't help on the financial side whatsoever. And we came away with something that was different than what we were told. We had so many people telling us that it's only about the money. If we had more money, we could solve it. After our due diligence, we looked and said, but it's really about 2 things. We'd always take more money, but it's about 2 things. It's about leadership, or really the lack of, and it's about the proper organization of resources, because there is a boatload of money coming into San Diego from HUD, from the feds, from the state, but it goes into a ton of silos where well-intentioned, well-meaning bureaucrats many times don't collaborate and don't talk, and money gets spent across each other in inefficient ways. So we took that message to the mayor and said, we think we can help. We did the reverse of what they do to us. When they come in and say, we're here from government and we're here to help, it scares us to death. So we went back and said to him, we're here from private equity and we're here to help, and I think it scared him just as badly. But we began a process, and it was really alarming to us, not with Kevin, by the way, but in the number of individuals who told us, do not do this. Do not do this. It will not help. And we said, it'll help those people on the streets. And they said, nobody cares. So we've got this. Two fellows independently told us, we've been working on this for 7 years through various things. We know how to fix it. And we somewhat arrogantly said, if we had been working on something for 7 years and it produced these results, we wouldn't be telling anybody. But you do what you do, because we're going to go do what we do. And that began a process, and it was just amazing the amount of pushback we got. Don't do anything. San Diego's got it. Politically, they've got it. Independently, people who were volunteer have it, but we still had the same results with the growing homeless population. Excuse me. So fast forward a bit, the idea that nobody cares was disproven pretty quickly. And by way of explanation, I'll tell you, immediately came forward 3 different groups. Family Health Centers of San Diego came forward and said, if you can get these tents up, these industrial tents, which were up a moment ago, if you can get these up, we will take care of everybody in those tents, no matter how many there are, for medical, mental health, and dental. And where they can't come to our clinics, we'll go to them. And we thought that was an amazing thing. Feeding San Diego, who is one of 2 food banks in town, came to us and said, we'll provide all the food for everyone in any number of tents you can put up. No cost to anybody. We'll take care of it. And then Helen Woodward Animal Centers came to us and said, we can help. And I happen to know the director, Mike Arms, and I said, Mike, how can you help? And he said, you know, 24% of your clients have pets. And I said, we did know that. And he said, you know, they won't go into shelter without their pets. And I said, no, we didn't know that. But we researched, found out that was true, and spent time with the city convincing them that they needed to have a low barrier for pets. And then Ellen Woodward took on feeding all the pets in all the tents, doing vaccines, spayed, neutered, whatever was taken. So, and there's lots and lots more stories. So a community of people came together and said, we care. So we want to help, and how can we help? And it's pretty amazing that it's grown and grown and grown, and our biggest fights are still on the political frontier. It's not about what's right. It's not about what is practical. Economically, it's cheaper to do it this way than to do it the way we have been doing it, but it just doesn't fit in the political framework. So we continue to fight that battle. And Peter and I have taken the position that we never intended to get awards, but for some reason we've gotten a bunch of them. And it wasn't the intent, obviously, but it's part of the public dialogue. So a few months after we got the first tents up, San Diego Fire came to us and said, we want to give you guys an honor. And we said, we don't want any honor, but what is it? And they said the number of calls for first responders for those 700 people we took off the streets went down so dramatically. We want to give you an honor. And we said, really wasn't us, it was Family Health Centers that was the driver behind that. And they said, yeah, but you're the face of it, so we want to give you something. And then I said, like what? And they said, a fire hat. And I said, the white one, the Chiefs? They said, yeah, we're going to give you and Peter each a fire hat. So we said, Family Health Centers didn't do that much, so we took the credit for that. But we have a long way to go. You know, we've only taken 700 people off the streets. There's still 5,000 in the San Diego region that are shelterless today. It's not true that they all want to be homeless. It's not true that they're all addicts. It's not true that one category fits all. There, as you well know, there's multiple categories, and there's a lot of people coming forward to help. And, you know, we hope to involve the Restaurant Association, individual hospitals, the big thing for us is we're not asking for money. What we really need is brain power and elbow grease more than anything. It's people who know their business and can say these policies are wrong, that's wrong, we could fix this easily, and help do it collectively and collaboratively. So that's essentially where we are today in the very few moments I have. So thank you.
As you can tell from Dan's story, just the passion and the desire to do good just resonates. And I would encourage you, frankly, if you haven't seen one of those shelters, just go take a tour. Not because you want to go see a shelter, but because there's real lives there that they've impacted who would be on the streets otherwise. It's not that that's the solution, but I would say it's a lot better than what we're currently at. So let's give Dan and Peter a round of applause again, please. So with that, I do want to provide one more recognition, and that is to Jane Finley. Jane, who we met earlier this morning, has been instrumental in leading the HASDIC board for the last year as our board chair, actually a little over a year since she took over the last meeting last year. And I can tell you her thoughtfulness, her desire to keep things moving has just been really key to a lot of valuable conversations continuing to move forward over the past year. So on behalf of the Hospital Association of San Diego and Imperial Counties, we do want to give Jane our special thank you for your active engagement and leadership in the association, but also in today's program. Jane. Thank you. And a little thank you, Jane. So if we can grab a photo.